You know, I'd like to think at one point in time or another we've all done the unthinkable, which is order for ourselves a whole box of pizza, even maybe 2 boxes of pizza, and you even ate the full box, the first box, all by yourself, and you even ate part of the second box as well. And you know what you've done if you've done that? I'm not talking about the guilt trip. I'm talking about now you're treading in the land of improper and mixed fractions, which isn't a bad thing, but you are on their turf. And what does that mean? It means you are consuming more than a whole. That's what it means. Anytime you consume more than a whole, you are now consuming an improper fraction or a mixed fraction. That's what it is. Anything bigger than a whole is a mixed or improper fraction. Here's a little comic strip about two what do we call these here? 2 fractions, and they're both greater than a whole. This is a whole plus a third. So there's like a whole box of pizza plus a third of the second pizza. And this here is 4/3. In fact, they're equivalent amounts. Maybe you don't know that, but they are equivalent amounts. And a little bit of a comic here. You know, this is the improper form, and this is the mixed fraction form. And you know what we're going to do in this lesson? We're going to learn how to change between them. How to take this guy here and turn him into this, and how to take this one and turn it back into the mixed form. But before we get on with that, make sure you've got the notes in front of you. Make sure you're following along and that you're writing questions down if you don't understand something. We'll address them, carefully in class. So here's some background knowledge. Do not pass go. Do not continue with this video until you've checked all these off and make sure you understand them. Do you know how to multiply numbers? I sure hope you know how to multiply numbers by now. How about the second thing? And if you don't, that's okay. You can use a times table or maybe even a calculator. Do you know what a numerator and a denominator is? That's the second point. And if you do, then awesome. You are killing it so far. How about the third one? I know how to do basic long division with a remainder. Okay, maybe you need to review that. Okay, so go back and review those and then come back again. Or maybe not. And the last one, I know how to reduce a fraction. If you know how, great, you're ready to go. Now here's some key concepts. In a proper fraction, here's the word proper, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. That's an example. Proper fractions are always less than 1. Here's 1/4. That's less than a whole. This is 1/4 of a pizza. This is 1/4 of a water bottle. 1/4 of a juice box. You name it. Notice the numerator is smaller. The denominator is larger. That's proper form. In an improper fraction, the numerator is greater than the denominator. Look at that. He's bigger, he's greater, he's smaller. This is improper format. It's not wrong. It's just we call it improper format. And that's, of course, bigger than a whole. So it's like you ate 4/4 and plus a 5th one on top of that. Now a mixed fraction is also greater than a whole. Both of these are greater than a whole, but it's written as a combination of whole numbers and fractions. It's written like this. Let me show you. So here we get the whole number. This is like you ate the whole pizza, 1 whole pizza, plus 1/4 of a second one. So you ate more than a whole. And these are, of course, bigger and greater than a whole. Now let's see how to convert between them. If I give you 2 wholes, this is 2 wholes, plus a 1/4, so this is 2 wholes and a 1/4, that's how we say it, or 2 1/4, 2 wholes and a 1/4. What we gotta do, now this is pretty simple, watch this. You multiply these two, and then add it to that third one. There you go, just 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And you write the 9 on the top, and you keep the 4 on the bottom. The 4 never changes, the denominator never changes, only this numerator is gonna change. So you go multiply and then add. Let's do a couple more. 4 wholes, this is like 4 whole pizzas. Plus 3/5 of another one. Multiply, add. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. All on top of 5. This is pretty easy. It's not hard. Now we got 12 wholes plus a half, so 12 1/2. And then you multiply these two, you get 24. Plus 1 is going to be 25. There you go, plus 1. You get 25 over 2. Now, how do you read this properly? You say 25 halves. That's a lot of pizza. If we're talking 25 half pizzas, that's a lot of pizza. Now, here's the last one. We got 7 wholes and 3/7. So what we do, again, we multiply, then we add. And everyone knows, I think, by now, 7 times 7 is 49, plus 3 is going to be 52 over 7. Now, how do the cool kids say it? They don't say 52 over 7, they say 52 sevenths. Got to put that "this" at the end, the THS. All right, so now that we know how to, convert from a mixed fraction into an improper fraction, now let's do the reverse. What if we were given the 14/4, the improper fraction, and then we're asked, turn that into a mixed fraction. You know what we got to do here? We just do long division. You know this line here in the middle? It just tells us to divide. So we'll write the first number, 14. We'll write this here as a long division symbol. And then we'll write the denominator on the outside. And now we'll go ahead and we'll say, okay, 4 goes into 1. Well, it doesn't. So we'll say 4 goes into 14. We know 3 times, because 3 times 4 is 12. And now we can subtract 14 and 12, get 2, and now what we do is, this is how many holes we've got, 3 holes, that's the top number, and this is the remainder. You know what remainder means? It means leftovers. This is the fraction part. 2/4 is going to be the fraction. Here's how we assemble them. 3 holes, the 2 goes up there, and the 4 goes down there, and almost like an X, it crosses. This goes to the top and this goes to the bottom. And you write this fraction out like that. Now we can check it over, make sure it's right by doing that trick, multiply these two, you get 12, plus 2 more makes 14, and you got 14 over 4, you get this back again, that means you did it right. Now ask yourself, here we got this here, we got to reduce this part if we can. We don't reduce the 3, we don't ever reduce that, we reduce the fraction part. So what goes into 2 and 4? Yeah. So now we write 3 holes, and we reduce the fraction to get 1/2, and that's the correct answer. Now the last question, improper fractions again. Here's another one. So now we're asked to turn it to a mixed fraction. Okay, so no problem. By now you could probably even pause the video. You write 17, you take this fraction symbol, you write it as a long division, then you take the 2 and you put it over here. Then you go through with it. 2 goes into 17, 8 times, because 8 times 2 is 16. You subtract them, you get 1 left over. Now this is our whole, that's our 8 holes, and this is our remainder. You got to think like that. You got to be like, okay, this is a remainder, so remainders mean leftovers. Leftovers are fractions. We got 1/2, 1 over 2 left over. They crisscross up like that, and this goes down. And that's going to be your answer. It's going to be 8.5. Now ask yourself, can you reduce it? We reduce that if we can. Nope, can't reduce it. So this is our final answer. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Catch you later.